Earlier, we are introduced to Rentaro getting turned down by a girl for the 100th time. In desperation, he meets the god of love who tells him that he is destined to be with 100 soulmates. Soon after that, he meets Hikari and Karane, and his newest soulmate Shizuka. Hikari and Inda are eating lunch on the roof when Rentaro introduces Shizuka to them. They were surprised that Shizuka communicates with a text-to-speech app. After some introductions, Rentaro starts listing each girl's habits and charms, which makes them blush. As Rentaro lists those habits, he talks about the unique things that Hikari and Inda do when they kiss him, which embarrasses Shizuka and asks if they've already kissed. Hikari then asks if she's interested in kissing too, but she refuses, so Rentaro decides to take things slow and steady until Shizuka feels comfortable. While eating lunch, Rentaro notices that Shizuka is holding herself back. In order to break the ice for Shizuka, Rentaro proposes a game of Old Maid. Rentaro leaves to go to the bathroom, upon which Inda confronts Shizuka about her holding herself back on behalf of both her and Hikari. Shizuka is reluctant to do anything that could interfere with Hikari or Inda, and she explains that she's scared of Rentaro thinking less of her than the other girls. Despite her self-doubt, the other girls insist that Rentaro is someone who will love them all equally. Inda assures Shizuka that she has nothing to fear and apologizes for chewing her out. Rentaro, meanwhile, had been observing the trio through the window, having noticed Inda's reaction to Shizuka poking him instead of tickling him and letting the girls sort out their feelings. When he returned from the bathroom, Karane asked Rentaro to repeat the last punishment because Shizuka's poke didn't count as a tickle. Shizuka, however, decides she's ready for a kiss with Rentaro. After Shizuka gets over her nervousness, they share their first kiss. Shizuka freezes after the kiss, offering Hikari a chance to tease Karane and ask Rentaro for a kiss herself. After initially denying it and receiving some teasing from Rentaro, Karane and Rentaro also kiss, leaving all three of the girls in a state of euphoria. Rentaro begins to wonder if he deserves this luck and expresses his heartfelt thanks to the girls, with each girlfriend feeling the same way. Rentaro and his girlfriends are on their way to check their exam results when Rentaro realizes he left his phone on the table and goes back to get it. The classroom is empty except for one girl. He calls out to her, asking if she's planning to check the exam results, but she says she already knows she'll be at the top, triggering a sign when she looks at Rentaro. He uses the opportunity to invite her to see the exam results, but she flatly refuses again. Upon looking at the exam results board, Rentaro sees the top-ranked student named Nano, who has rumors spreading about her that she is secretly an AI. Afterward, Rentaro and Nano are paired in biology class together. Instead of using a microscope to observe onion cells as instructed, Nano copies their structure from a textbook, claiming it is more efficient. Distracted by Nano, Rentaro accidentally cuts himself with a razor. After class, Rentaro tries to get Nano to open up, but she continues to rebuff him on the grounds of him being an insignificant part of her routine. Nano leaves Rentaro behind, leaving him to wonder whether Nano is his soulmate or not. But when she gets home, Nano gets embarrassed after reflecting on her actions during the day. She tries writing out the digits of pi to calm herself down, but to no avail. The next day at school, she asks Rentaro out, only for her to break up with him immediately after he accepts. Nano states that love is insignificant to her. Rentaro, however, refuses to give up his feelings. He knows that she does have true feelings for him and decides to prove it to her. Rentaro proposes that the two of them go on a date before she gives up on him. That weekend, the two of them met at an amusement park. The pair go to many different attractions, such as a carousel ride, a haunted house, a spinning teacup, and a maze. Nano was confused, since she couldn't figure out how anyone could find them entertaining. Later, the two of them ride a Ferris wheel. Rentarou learns that Nano is afraid of heights, and he helps to calm her down by holding her hand, which she grips tightly. At the end of the day, the two of them look over the pictures Rentarou took during the date. He asks her how she felt about the day. Nano says she did have fun but believes that she gained nothing significant that day, and she apologizes to him. Rentarou concludes that they should pretend the day never happened. He takes a lighter and attempts to burn the photos he took, but Nano quickly snatches them out of his hand. Confused at her own actions, Rentarou explains that the way she acted is the best proof that she did gain something from the day. After she calms down, Nano properly confesses to Rentarou, saying that she has much to gain from loving him, and that there are many more significant things to discover. Rentarou accepts her confession and is surprised when Nano quickly pulls her in for a kiss. The next day, Rentarou introduces Nano to the rest of his girlfriends. After talking about his date with Nano, Rentarou offers to take all of them on a date together. Hyakkano then suggests going to an indoor water park. Before the date, Karani goes shopping for a new swimsuit after school. She manages to find a cute one as she knows that Rentarou might compliment her. On the day of the date, Karane shows up wrapped in a towel cape, claiming that she feels cold and tells the rest of the group to go swimming without her. The four head to the lazy river first. Here Shizuka ends up spinning in her floaty due to the strong current, and Nano tries to go against the current to test whether the river is capable of dealing with any unforeseen incident. Rentarou passes out from a nosebleed. Hyakkano and Nano drag him out of the lazy river and try to perform CPR, only for their efforts to turn into a kissing competition. In the meantime, Shizuka is still wildly spinning away from the group down the lazy river. She attempts to get to the pool side but gives up when she realizes she can't resist the current and tries to ask strangers for assistance. She bumps into the side of the pool, which punctures her floaty and leaves her stranded on an island in the middle of a lazy river because she can't swim. After several attempts to revive Rentarou, Hyakkano and Nano set off in search of a male staff member but were soon confronted by a trio of perverts. Hyakkano tries to run past them, but when one of them tries to touch Hyakkano, Nano grabs the man's hand and pokes his eyes. The remaining men threaten to have Hyakkano, and Nano join them. With no other choice, Nano offers to hang out with the guys and asks Hyakkano to go and find a male staff member to help Rentarou. She explained to Hyakkano that Rentarou would be more worried if something happened to her because she had been with him longer than her. However, Hyakkano shoots down her suggestion, telling the guys that neither of them would hang out with them, and tells Nano she doesn't understand Rentarou well enough yet. One of the men attempts to grab Hyakkano, but just then Rentarou charges in at the last moment, shouting to leave both his girlfriends alone. The guy doesn't believe that both are his girlfriends and instructs Rentarou to kiss both at the same time, assuming that he'll be unable to. Rentarou refuses, but Hyakkano and Nano both kiss him to prove that they are his girlfriends. The men fled after seeing this. Hyakkano asks Rentarou how he regained consciousness. Karane then catches up to the group, explaining that she managed to revive Rentarou by telling him about Hyakkano and Nano's situation. Rentarou asks Nano not to be so reckless in the future, leading her to realize that Hyakkano was right about Rentarou caring about all of his girlfriends regardless of how long he's known them. Karani asks where Shizuka is, as she isn't with the group. Rentarou panics and sprints off to find her. Shizuka's phone runs out of battery just before she sees Rentarou. She figures she needs to use her own voice to call out to him. Despite her soft voice, Rentarou manages to hear her and rescues her from the lazy river island. Rentarou carries her back where she takes the opportunity to sneak a kiss before rejoining the others. Rentarou decides to take a break and sit by the pool with Karane. He tells Karane that he noticed she lost confidence in herself after seeing them in their swimsuits. Karane confesses that she believes she is neither as feminine as Hikari and Nano nor as cute as Shizuka. Rentarou tells Karane to stand up, and he rips off her towel. Embarrassed, Karane slaps Rentarou several times. Despite the assault, he hugs her and tells her that each girl is special in their own way. After they share a quick kiss, both of them join the rest of the group in the pool. And that's the end of this video. Thank you for watching.